excited to be at a restaurant called Sop Konro Bakar, and this is a restaurant that is well known for serving ribs in a number of different ways. They are beef ribs, and especially they specialize in food from Makassar, which is in the southern part of the island of Sulawesi. This is a really cool restaurant, nice open air, very spacious, and you can just smell the aroma of the roasted ribs throughout this entire restaurant. This restaurant is in an area called Kelapa Gading, and this is kind of on the, what side is it on? It's on the northwestern side of Jakarta, and there are a lot of restaurants around here, and this restaurant is famous for serving ribs, and so I got a couple of different versions plus some grilled fish. And the first dish that I got here is the Konro Bakar, and these are the grilled ribs, and they smell unbelievable. And after they were finished roasting, he put on a couple scoops of peanut sauce. I think that's peanut sauce all over these ribs. Look at that handheld rib. This drumstick rib is so beautiful. I just gotta take a bite out of it immediately. Oh, that's insane. Oh wow, it's so tender. As I just took that first bite, the meat literally just started sliding right off the bone. Look at that. Oh, that is just wonderful. Oh man, it's so tender and fatty and just insanely fragrant. You can really taste the smokiness of the grill on those ribs. And then that is definitely a peanut sauce, a little bit sweet, but really nice and nutty. Great flavor. Let me just finish the meat on this bone real fast. Now that I have this entire chunk of boneless rib on my plate, I'm gonna mix it in with the rice, and I think I will add a little bit of that sambal to it. And I'm gonna season the rib meat with a squeeze of lime to balance off that sweet peanut sauce. And then I'm also gonna add on some of this sambal. It looks like there are chopped up tomatoes in here, and it looks like there are whole little wedges of lime as well. Let me add a little bit of that. Oh man. Oh, that is sensational. The smokiness of that meat is unbelievably good. And then with that sweet peanut sauce, and then counterbalanced by that squeeze of lime. And then that sambal, let me get a taste of that sambal again. Oh. I got a bite of that wedge of lime in that bite. Oh, that's sharply sour and a little bit bitter. I'm gonna follow that bite with some of this soup. And I think this is the beef soup with a bunch of shallots in it. That has a bit of a nutty flavor to it. I think it's a beef soup. It's salty, and those crispy shallots are so fragrant in there. There's so many crispy shallots that it just kind of makes up the bulk of that soup, and really oniony, fried fragrance to it. In between rib dishes, I'm gonna have some of this fish, and this is a type of ikan bakar, grilled fish. They grilled it over a high fire, so you can see those, oh, and that bone center bone just comes straight off. But yeah, you can see that black charred, fragrant amazingness on the edges of the fish. Let me take a piece of this. I'm not sure what type of fish this is, but look at that meat. There's another sambal chili sauce here, which was on the table, which I'm gonna add to this fish. This is a little bit of an oily sambal, but oh, this is the type of sambal I love. One of the things you can do is just kind of break up the fish so that you can remove those bones before you eat it. All right, I think that's good. On with that sambal. That's a really good fish. It's kind of a dry fish as opposed to being oily. So it's very lean, and then, yeah, it's juicy though at the same time. It's dry but juicy. Fantastic. And then with that sambal. That sambal is like a little bit of a sour, oily chili sauce. And also we could not come here without ordering a plate of the Sop Konro, which is the name of this restaurant is named after. And these are beef ribs in a soup, but it's served kind of on a soup plate. And I think they're the same ribs, just beautiful chunks. Oh, these are 2 ribs connected. Oh, fantastic. And then in a brothy soup, and then just topped with a big handful of crispy fried shallots. Let me try to just break this with the spoon, and I will just, oh, that just literally slides off the bone. That is incredible. Look at that, just the naked bone is left, and that meat just comes off so effortlessly. They don't serve you any knives in this restaurant because you don't need them. Oh, look at that meat. The only part that you gotta like break off is that connecting tissue. And I'm gonna quickly add on a little bit of lime to that. And, okay. Oh, just look at that. Look at that, that just effortless. Effortless, look at those grains of meat in there. Oh, wow. That is so unbelievably tender and so flavorful with those shallots, and a little bit of a nutty taste as well in that soup. And then this is some lemon basil, I believe. And I'm gonna add that with that lemon basil for this bite. I love the addition of that lemon basil. That lemon basil is extremely fragrant. It tastes very similar to lemongrass. Additionally, with just ordering a plain plate of white rice, right in the middle of the table, they have communally on the top here, these ones are called ketupat, which are the compressed rice cakes. And then on the bottom is something called buras, which I'm actually not sure what they are. This will be my first time. I've had the ketupat before, but I'm not sure what the buras are, so I'm gonna grab one of these. I think that they are wrapped in, yeah, this is banana leaf, and oh yeah, that's definitely rice. It smells a little bit sweet. Maybe coconut milk. Let me break off a piece, and I will dip it into this sauce. I think there's coconut milk in there. And then it's also salty. The texture is a little bit sticky and mushy. And it tastes like it's been, yeah, compressed into this little packet. And then maybe steamed in a banana leaf, so it has a kind of a banana green fragrance to it. It's really good. The rib meat. This meat is so good. And actually both of them are really good. I like the grilled one because it has more of a smoky flavor, but the boiled soup one is also really good because it's so tender and you can really taste those crispy shallots. And I like it with that sambal as well. Oh, and that I got a little bit more of that lemon basil. Let me add that lemon basil on there with that sambal. It's so tender. Just finished with those ribs and that fish. That was an excellent meal. I am feeling a little bit sluggish and heavy right now though. That is definitely a meal for meat lovers. After such an incredible beef ribs meal, Ying and I have decided to take a walk. This area is home to a lot of cafes and restaurants, so we're gonna